This time, we will going to discuss the curriculum designs, strategies, and approaches. Curriculum design. It is a term used to describe the purposeful, deliberate, and systematic organization of curriculum within a class or a course. In other words, it is a way for teachers to plan the instruction. So as a teacher, one has to be a curriculum designer, a curriculum implementer, and a curriculum evaluator. In every single day in our classroom discussion, a teacher plans, implements, and evaluates the curriculum in a school. When teachers design the curriculum, they will going to identify what will be done, who will do it, and what schedule to follow. Curriculum design models. So approaches to curriculum design, we have the two, the subject-centered and the learner-centered. Under in subject-centered, we have the subject design, the discipline design, the correlation design, the broad field or the interdisciplinary design. On the other hand, in the learner-centered, we have the child-centered, the experience-centered, and humanistic. Subject-centered design. This model focuses on the content of the curriculum. The subject-centered design corresponds mostly to the textbook written for the specific subject. The school divides the school hours to the different subject areas. Subject design is the oldest and so far the most familiar design for teacher, parents, and other laymen. According to the advocates, subject design has an advantage because it is easy to deliver. Books and other instructional materials are commercially available. In the Philippine educational system, the number of subjects in elementary is fewer than the secondary level. In the college, the number of subjects is based on the programs being pursued. However, in subject designs, sometimes learning is so compartmentalized. It focuses so much on the content that it forgets the natural tendencies, interests, and experiences of the students. The teacher gives us so much content and information according to the subject. Discipline design. Discipline design is somewhat related to subject design. However, while the subject design centers only on the cluster of content, the discipline design focuses on the academic discipline. It refers to the specific knowledge learned through a method which is used to study specific content of their fields. For example, if you are studying biology, you need also to learn how the biologists learn. When you are studying mathematics, you also learn how the mathematicians learn. In the same manner, teachers should teach how the scholars or the students in the discipline will convey the particular knowledge. It is often used in college, but not in elementary and secondary levels. Correlation design comes from a core. Correlated curriculum design that links separate subjects designs in order to reduce fragmentation. Subjects are related to one another, but each subject maintains its identity. This is commonly found in the university level, where students need expertise in specific subjects. This design combine or integrate only two subjects. For example, the biochemistry. This is the combination of the biology and the chemistry. This design helped the students to see the connection between the two subjects. Broad field design. While the correlation design is the combination of two subjects and broad field design, it is the combination of two or more related subjects into a single broad field. The purpose of this design is to give emphasis to the relationship between subjects and help the students to see the connections between the subjects. It is also made to prevent compartmentalization of subjects and integrate the contents that are related to each other. The learner-centered design. Child-centered design. It is anchored in the needs and interests of the child. The learner is not considered as passive individual, but as one who engages with his or her environment. One's learning by doing. Learners actively create, construct meanings, and understanding. In this child-centered design, the teachers provides opportunities for the students to learn independently and from one another. The students participate more actively in the discussion and they take responsibility of what they learn. With this, students gain an understanding of their own learning styles. Experience-centered design. Child remains to be the focus. The interests and the needs of the learners cannot be pre-planned. Experiences are the starting point of the curriculum. Learners are made to choose from the various activities. As a teachers, we should provide the equal opportunities or activities to the students that could help them develop through experiences. In a classroom setting, the students have a different interests, or should we say that as we provide activities, we will consider the multiple intelligences for the student to discover their own learning style through learning experiences. Humanistic design. Development of self is the ultimate goal of this design. Positive self-concept and interpersonal skills, integration of thinking, feeling, and doing. This curriculum focuses on the development and realization of the learners or the students as a complete entity. According to experts, that if education succeeds in the development of the needs, interests, and aptitudes of individual, the students will willingly cooperate with others rather than conflicting ones. This curriculum believes that education is good for a person is also best for the well-being of the nation. The expectation of this curriculum is a healthier attitude towards self, peers, and learning. Let's proceed to problem-centered design. Problem-centered design. It draws on the social problems, needs, interests, and abilities of the learners. Various problems are given emphasis. In this curriculum, the subject boundaries and must be based on the needs, concerns, and abilities of the students. This design provides learning an environment in which competence is encouraged not primarily by imparting knowledge but through encouraging an inquisitive style of learning. It helps develop the critical and creative thinking skills of the students. At the same time, problem finding and problem solving skills. This curriculum design exposed the students to real-life issues which help them develop skills that are transferable to the real world. Life situation design. What makes this design unique is that the contents are organized in ways that allow students to clearly view problems areas clearly. It uses the past and present experience of the learners as a means to analyze the basic areas of living. As a starting point, the pressing immediate problems of the society and the students' existing problems or concerns are utilized. This design focuses on a problem-solving procedures. The connection of the subject matter to real-life situation increases the relevance of the curriculum. Another example of the problem-centered design is the core design. It centers on the general education problem and the problems that are based on the common human activities. The central focus of the core design includes the common needs, problems, and concerns of the learner. There are ways on how to proceed following a core design of a curriculum. It is popularized by Founts and Bossing in 1959. Here are the following ways. Number one is the problem is selected by either the teacher or the students. A group consensus is made to identify the important problem and in interest of the class. Problems are selected on the basis of developed criteria for selection. The problem is clearly stated and defined. Areas of the study are decided, including dividing the class either by individual or by group. Needed information is listed and discussed. Resources for obtaining information are listed and discussed as well. Information is obtained and organized. Information is analyzed and interpreted. Tentative conclusions are stated and tested. A report is presented to the class on an individual or a group basis. Conclusions are evaluated. New avenues of exploration toward further problem solving are examined. Approaches to the curriculum design. The three major curriculum design models, which are the subject-centered design, the learner-centered design, and the problem-centered designs, are implemented through the different approaches that are accepted by the teachers and curriculum practitioners. How the design is utilized becomes the approach to the curriculum. Subject-centered approach. Anchored in the curriculum design which prescribes different and separate subjects into one broad field. This approach considers the following. The primary focus is the subject matter. The emphasis is on bits and pieces of information which are detached from life. The continuing pursuit of learning outside the school is not emphasized. Learning should only take place inside the classroom. The subject matter serves as a means of identifying problems in living. The example of this approach is when the school aims to produce best graduates, the learners must excel in all academic fields in order to be on the top rank. Everyone must master the subject matter. The higher the level of cognitive intelligence, the better for the learner. The school gives emphasis on the intellectual development and set aside emotional and psychomotor development. Success means mastery of the subject matter. Child or learner-centered approach. This approach to curriculum design is based on the underlying philosophy that the child is the center of the educational process. Curriculum is constructed based on the needs, interests, purposes, and abilities of the learners. Curriculum is also built upon the learner's knowledge, skills, learning, and potentials. When the school is anchored in the theory of multiple intelligences in all its curricular and co-curricular activities, every classroom is made up of activity centers where the children are given time and opportunities to hone their skills and capacities. The activities of every learners are differentiated according to the student's abilities, interests, and needs. Each child is considered important, and each capacity is respected. Learners are not compared in one another. Learners' own performance are compared against target which they set for themselves. The school does not believe in failure, but rather in success. The teacher's task is to guide the learner to what he or she would like to accomplish. All throughout the year, the learner is the center of the education. Problem-centered approach. This approach is based on a curriculum design which assumes that in the process of living, children experience problems. Thus, problem solving enables the learners to become increasingly able to achieve complete or total development as individuals. The school believes that a learner should be trained to solve real-life problems that come about because of the needs, interests, and abilities of the learners. Most of the school activities revolve around solutions to problems like poverty, drug problems, deterioration of positive values, environmental concerns, and many more. Since the school is using problem-centered approach, case study as a method of teaching is popularly utilized. Practical work as a solution to the problem is also used. Thus, development of business skills, social skills, construction skills to solve specific problems are given also the emphasis. Those are the three curricular design approaches, and they are distinct from each other. Each design approach gives the school a special character. However, most of the implementers meld the different designs in their school. And that ends our report. Together with Ma'am Riza Toroba, I am Clarie Dumagyo. Thank you for listening and God bless us all.